Hello, once again, second commentary of the day, lots more afterwards as well. We have a Rebel from rank 21 challenging Rajaa, now at rank 18. So, Rebel versus Rajaa. I don't think we had any specific rules, let me just verify that. It's been a little bit of a messy day with the technical side. Yeah, looks like they're just following the normal contest rules. So, I don't know why I have a mess Ellie. He gets a Rajaa in return. So it looks like our first round for Siri, obviously by default Siri is going to be a Hunter v Hunter. And we're gonna find out who is the better Hunter. There we go. Rajaa asking about his opponent's Hunter count. Obviously a very important statistic in PvP is how many Hunters you have available. So we'll see what the response to that is. And yeah, Skylork assisting a bit with some confirmation of the rules. For those of you who haven't paid attention to the announcement, Skylork is has joined the referee team. So he will be assisting us with all of the rules and the implications and all of that stuff. And I encourage everyone to look at announcements if you haven't. There's been a big announcement today about the some of the changes coming with new rankings and new events and exciting stuff. So we hope that you all enjoy that. But for now, we just have a match on our hands, and I think our players are just about to begin. And we're off. So Hunter v Hunter, mirror matchup is mostly about item order. I do believe these players have the same items, pretty much. Yeah, Rajaa with a balanced speed actuator instead of the strong. He tends to favor that, and I think if the fight goes long enough, it will possibly give him an advantage, but if it's a short fight, then Rebel's strong actuator will just win. On the first sniper, 81% against 83%. Rajaa already puts his buff up. Ooh, and now it's the AB in, so a bit unfortunate there. Both stun at the same time. But I don't know, Rebel puts his RD a bit earlier. Rajaa puts it slightly later. Rebel might be overhealing here, because his opponent is still stunned, and that will be bad. Yeah, Rebel definitely overhealing a bit, so that might favor Rajaa. This is mostly gonna come down to crits. Rebel with that strong actuator does have a little bit more DPS. So let's see if it's enough. Ooh, just barely Rajaa gets it with 2% remaining. Really close there. That mostly came down to the RNG, and yeah, Rajaa with slightly better RD timing, and it's enough to secure the victory. So Rajaa with a quick 1-0 lead. Let's see what Rebel wants to decide for the second round. What the choice of system is going to be. Draconis selected by Rebel. So we're gonna find out what sort of ship he wants to bring out in Draconis. I'm not entirely sure on the options here. He did say earlier he has a Hunter in every system. Not sure what else he has in every system. He might have a Lava, I'm not sure. But yeah, it looks like not the most diverse ship layout. And Rajaa asking to agree to some sort of new rule, I think. We're gonna see what his proposal is. Also trying to keep track of a lot of different stuff at the same time, because as I said, there are probably 4 matches that I need to go over today. So yeah, it's a little bit messy here at the moment. I'm trying to keep it organized and at least provide some decent commentary for the matches. Rajaa doesn't seem like he's gonna actually propose the thing, and already goes out into Draconis in a Draconis Hunter, and we'll see what Rebel has to bring out against it. So Rebel also brings out a Hunter. It looks like we're just going to a rematch. So yeah, same ships, different system. Let's see if it's a different fight and if it's a different outcome. Obviously the most important match. Yeah, Rajaa wants to propose a rule. Rebel asking what it is. Any extra rules, Rebel is free to deny if he wants. Okay, so Rajaa asking to not use more than 3 drones. I'm not sure if Rebel was doing that or not, but yeah, that's a reasonable expectation. But we'll see. Rebel is free to deny that. If he feels like he wants to play with 4 drones, that is his permission. But we'll see if Rebel agrees to this or not. I'm not entirely sure where these people are. I do believe they're both still in orbit, that's why. And yeah, it looks like they're gonna go Hunter v Hunter like every round they do. Okay, so I need to start. Okay, so I started the download now. Once again, my apologies for all of the extra stuff going on at the same time. Okay, so Rebel agrees, but he doesn't feel like going back into hangar, so from the next round on, only 3 drones and no more swappy. And we'll see if that makes a difference or not. I don't think it's a major difference, but Rajaa is just trying to make it fair for both players to do the same thing. And yeah, some people like the drone switching, some people don't. It's completely voluntary. Some people like me can't afford to have 4 drones on every ship, because I'm broke. But that's an unrelated issue. So yeah, it mostly looks like we are going to get Hunter v Hunters. At least for this round it's guaranteed to be Hunter v Hunter, and we'll see. So a little bit of technical delay here while we have some drone setups. So Rajaa just confirming there, this round, all of the drones he wants. Next round, only 3. That's the agreement we have now. So let's get into it, I think, if both of our lovely people are ready. Rebel report's ready, Rajaa report's ready. Let's get this show on the road. Let me just verify that the tech is the same. Yeah, so exactly the same tech as they had in Siri. Rajaa sporting a balanced actuator against Rebel's strong actuator. Rajaa also has an Ifrit, which Rebel does not. First as B-poke, exactly the same damage. Don't see that very often, both at 85%. Let's see, the second poke. Bonk bonk. Ooh, Rajaa gets a way better hit there. He's more than 10% ahead now. That's a really high crit. So Rebel at 59% and Rajaa still at 71%. 12% difference on just 2 SBs. That's really lucky for Rajaa. We'll see if it makes a difference. There's still a range where... Okay, both put the buffs. Both put the actuators. Next poke, Rebel 35, Rajaa way higher. Rajaa already uses the RD. Rebel AB's out of range. He's gonna get caught now and he puts the RD way later. So Rajaa is overhealed here, but he gets out of range. Okay, so Rajaa knows that he was behind there. He's gonna go for a reset. And we'll see if they want to fight. Yeah, Rebel not managing to stay in range there. A bit unfortunate. He played that really well. He would have been in a dominant position had he ended up in range at the end of the AB. But yeah, just not quite pulling it off. Rajaa with some very quick movements and also quick to recognize the situation. So we'll see now. I think Rajaa's gonna try to move in because Rebel's actuator ended and his actuator is still going because it's a balance. So he has like 10-15 seconds of actuator time. But yeah, Rebel recognizing that also wants to back up, not give any advantage. These guys not giving each other an inch of space here, like playing really careful, resetting where needed, and yeah, we'll see where it brings us. So Rajaa's actuator goes out as well now, and we're just waiting for cooldowns. So Rebel goes in right as Rajaa is shooting a Mantis, so... Kinda gets a head start here. Rajaa did put his stun second, and I think both of them have their RD backup as well, but Rajaa is behind on the HP game for now. Might have to RD soon. Rebel will be stunned for 1 or 2 extra shots, while Rajaa already is out. Yeah. They both put the RD at the same time still, even though Rajaa had less HP, Rebel already putting his RD as well. And we'll see, we're at SB distance now. Rajaa puts his actuator, okay, and Rebel backs out of range. So... Okay, Rebel puts his actuator as well, so they're just trying to get their RDs back as quick as possible to minimize the window of time where their opponent can go at them. Another SB poke. Both put the bus already, both just going in actually, neither of them have RDs. So this is gonna come down to the hits, but yeah, Rajaa just takes that. Rebel was on lower HP at the start of that. Wow, didn't expect him to turn back into the fight there. But yeah, Rajaa gets some good hits, start to finish. Rajaa got really nice hits in, but yeah, at the end they're definitely baiting his opponent in and gets a quick finish and a quick 2-0 victory. 2-0 lead in the series. So we'll see, Rajaa halfway to victory, and Rebel still has 4 games to go to squeeze out a win here. And we'll see what system Rebel wants to go with to try and achieve that. If he wants to stick to the RDX systems, where we're mostly going to see Hunter v Hunters, or if he wants to go to a different system. Rebel wants to go to Soul, and that means that we are most likely going to see a third Hunter v Hunter. But we'll see if these people bring out their hunters again, or if we see some fancy other options. Rajaa brings out a hunter at least. Once again the same tech. Already heads off to the surface and... we'll see what Rebel picks against it. We're assuming it's gonna be a Hunter as well, yeah. So just sticking with the Hunters v Hunters. I'm not sure if it was agreed that it would only pick Hunters. It might have been, I could have missed it. But it looks like we're just gonna play the same match over and over again. And it's, you know, I don't personally mind it. Hunter v Hunter is a fairly interesting match. And we're gonna see if Rebel can get a win or if Rajaa keeps up his dominant Hunter performance. Any tech changes? Oh, that's interesting. Rebel has a long stun here, as opposed to the strong that you normally see. Rajaa still with the exact same tech as he had in the other system, so we'll see if that makes a difference. The long stun is, you know, it's mostly just weird. It throws people off. It's kind of difficult to calculate with and to work with because not enough people use it. And we'll see first as B, Rajaa again getting a slightly better hit. But on the second, Rebel does it way better. Oh, wow. So Rebel now at the same 12% advantage that Rajaa had last round. Rajaa 53%, Rebel 65%. And puts the buffs, throws out a stun. Okay, so Rajaa has to RD first, and I think we're gonna see the strong stun in action here. If Rebel chases, because Rajaa's gonna be stunned still when his AB goes out. I feel like Rebel could have been in range there. Because of that stun. I mean, Rajaa can just stun him and run away as well. We'll see. Both players now have used their RDs, and it looks like we're just gonna go for the first reset. Rajaa still has a stun at the moment, and he should have the AB first. So he might be able to just dart into range, get a stun off, while Rebel is trying to AB away. We might see a quick finish if that's the case, but I don't think he's gonna get in range for it. Is he even gonna try? I don't think so. He should have had his AB already. So yeah, Rebel just running away in a straight line, and this is very important that you keep running away. Like, if you turn around, if Rebel would turn around here, then Rajaa definitely gets into range when they both AB again. But it looks like Rajaa recognizing that the distance is too big, not wasting his AB on it, wants to keep it to get out of the next fight if he has to. So yeah, favoring caution over aggression by Rajaa. And we'll see if that pays off or not. Farming some cryo in the meantime, as it seems. Shooting some mantis, you know, it's always nice to do. And yeah, it looks like Rebel... Okay, Rebel now turns back, and we've pretty much reset. Both of these people should have essentially all of their items up. We're gonna see. The buffs might not be quite back. I honestly think they're back. I think they have everything back up. But we'll see. Rajaa's still not willing to go into range, which is interesting. Okay, now he turns in, but he wants to stay at his B range, I think, just trying to be careful not to get into blaster range. Ooh, Rebel sneaks a blaster, and that forces Rajaa to immediately go for an AB in. And Rebel can get into range now, like, there's nothing Rajaa can do about it. Rebel will get into range. Stun, counter stun? Yeah. And we'll see who has to RD first. I think Rebel's gonna have to RD first because of the long stun, but Rajaa will be stunned way longer. Yeah, so Rebel gets it off. Rajaa puts it quite early. He could have waited a bit longer into the long stun. I think this is gonna favor Rebel because Rajaa's still stunned, so he's not doing that much damage for now. Rebel wants to play it careful. He's gonna go for a full reset actually. I'm not sure about that. Rajaa's RD did last for longer than I thought it would. But Rajaa was still stunned there for a bit, so I think Rebel could have gone for a little bit more damage, but choosing to play it safe, go for another reset, try to get a more favorable fight going. And we'll see, it looks like we're just going for reset number 2. Rajaa not happy with that, wants to AB in, but I don't think he's gonna catch up. I think the distance is too big. So Rajaa's actuator should be running out any second now, and then there's pretty much no advantage for either of them anymore. So yeah, looks like we're just gonna go to the second reset. And some interesting things going on with the shadows there. And we'll see. Oh, Rebel turned slightly from out of my range and gets a sniper in. Rajaa also returned the sniper, so the HP is still pretty much the same. 1% difference, most likely not gonna decide the match. But Rajaa looks like he didn't expect that because he's backing out, so I don't think he wanted to do that poke there. I think he got a bit caught up by surprise, might have also had rendering issues himself. And we'll see when these people are confident enough that they should be re-engaging. Rajaa for now backing up, and Rebel seems to be trying to get into range. But obviously he doesn't want to AB in, because it doesn't achieve that much, it's better to keep the AB for the fight. We shall see. Rajaa now turning in. We're gonna go into the third attempt to get any progress done in this match. Both SB, 68% against 70, no major advantage either way. We should be turning in for the next SB. Yeah. Rajaa puts the buff. Okay, so Rajaa gets a better hit there because of the buff. Now leading 50% to Rebel's 42. Ooh, Rebel dangerously low. Needs to RD. Yeah, Rajaa RD'd as well already. So Rebel putting the stun first. These stuns are gonna end at about the same time. The RDs are gonna end at about the same time. I think we're gonna be down to hits again. Because now, neither player can really get out of the opponent's range. Rebel might be able to because the stun lasts longer on Rajaa. Doesn't look like it. Who's gonna get the hits? Okay, so Rajaa gets a slight hit advantage. One blaster away from death himself, 7%. One blaster easily does that, but yeah, seems like he got either slightly better hits or just slightly better item timing with his stun use there. So yeah, I'm kind of surprising that Rajaa is winning these fights despite having the balanced actuator instead of the strong, but yeah, I think just slightly sharper on his item order, and maybe the strong stun just the better choice when it comes to Hunter v Hunter rather than the long stun. Definitely a possibility. I haven't experimented that much with long stun myself. So yeah, Rajaa up 3-0 now. So Rajaa needs only one more match, while Rebel needs to take a reverse sweep in order to win, and Rebel with the curveball selects level 55 Soul, the first contestant that I know of to pick low level Soul, but this is a system that you are allowed to pick. And we'll see what ships people bring out here. The ship choices for lower level Soul are quite strange, because you know, you have relatively high armor, because the items are blue. You can't put rare items, you can't put ancient items, so the damage output is quite low, and it's just a bit weird. There's also no sniper, or no sniper items, no defender items or anything. And we'll see, Rebel brings out a Punari, and this is what you normally see here, and Rajaa with a Locust. Okay. So, based on the ships, the Locust should convincingly win this. It is a counter to the Punari, I think. Unless if the aim scrambler is really good for Rebel. We're gonna find out. But yeah, level 55 Soul, there's really 3 ships that are like decent. It's gonna be the Milestone, the Punari, and the Locust. For 1v1, you could maybe try a Lava without the Corruption Cloud, but I think you're just gonna lose because all of the other ships are stunners, pretty much. So yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm strongly favoring Rajaa here, but we'll see if the Scrambler can, you know, do its job. And Rebel definitely has a pretty good chance still. Leads with a stun dome. Ooh, Rajaa prots on the dome. That's definitely a mistake. You want to save that prot for the stun itself. So yeah, we have the fancy blasters, the same that I have at the moment. I think these blasters look really cool, really nice sound as well. And yeah, Rebel noticing that the prot already got used, so he's just gonna stun. Probably gonna put his own prot to prevent being stunned, I would guess. He is in risk of being bombed soon, but yeah, with Rajaa stunned, he really has no way to get on top of the Punari, and we'll see. Rajaa isn't gonna die. He still has the RD, he'll last long enough to then get the next protector up as well. Rajaa gets on top, puts the perforator. Wow, that bomb does nothing. absolutely no damage there. So yeah, the blue bomb definitely quite weak. Even the ancient strong bomb not doing that much damage usually. So if you have the balanced version, uh, which is basically what a blue item is, it's always balanced, then yeah, not the damage that Rajaa was hoping for there. And we'll see. Rebel, yeah, the doesn't stay in range. Rajaa gets out of it. And we'll see. This fight could be going to time, so my stopwatch will be keeping track of that. I feel like Rajaa should be more aggressive though. I think he definitely has the means to just overwhelm Rebel. Rebel's DPS is just very limited. The Bunari, like, it only has the Blaster for DPS, and Blaster just isn't that good in this at this tech level. It just doesn't do that much. Rebel uses an RD. Now Rajaa's gonna move in. So Rebel gets stunned. Doesn't want to put the Protector on top of the RD most likely. Gonna put it right as the RD runs out, yeah. And Rajaa this time not using his Protector on the stun down. Puts another bomb. It really doesn't do any damage. I'm not even sure if that one hit, to be honest. Rebel puts a Scrambler as well. Might be a bit over defending here. His Protector is still at full health. I'm not entirely sure about that. Rajaa's HP quite low. We'll see what he decides to defend himself with. Yeah, RD first this time. And Rebel just really struggling to put significant damage on his opponent. Rajaa not really willing to just engage though, like... Rajaa obviously, outside of the bomb, he doesn't have more damage than Rebel. It's mostly the Perforator allowing him to bypass some of that defense. But... yeah, we'll see. The Perforator doesn't give you a full pierce either at this tech level. When it's only blue, Perforator doesn't give you 100% 100% piercing against shields and protectors, so they'll still do part of their job anyway. But I think Rajaa needs to be more aggressive. I don't think this match is gonna end if he plays this defensive. And then we would get to a rematch with Rebel once again picking the system, but we'll see. We're back to blastering, and yeah, we're about 3 minutes down in the match. Rajaa once again, like, Rebel puts the RD and Rajaa just backs up, puts his own RD actually, so a bit vulnerable now on both sides if we would engage here. Rebel thinks he has the advantage, he is ABing in. We'll see what... I don't think he can get in range though. I think Rebel... yeah. That's a bit too far away. I'm not sure which of these ships is faster. I'm guessing that the Locust is a bit faster, because I know Punari isn't the fastest ship out there. It's pretty fast, but it's not as fast as some of the other ships. I think Locust is in the highest tier of speed, but can't confirm that, so don't quote me on it, please. And we'll see when we're gonna get back in range. RD should be almost back up again, and Rebel just throws out the stun this time. Rajaa probably gonna prod that off. He's gonna AB. But he already has all of his items, so yeah, now just prods it off. That stun pretty much completely useless. It didn't increase any of the defensive items cooldowns on Rajaa. Rajaa throws out a bomb again. That one connected. It barely does more damage than the blaster. It's quite pathetic, honestly, the bomb damage at this point. Rajaa hitting quite a bit through the Scrambler. Obviously it's not a strong Scrambler, so we'll see. Rebel with the RD first. Rajaa stuns him. Rebel could just prod because Rajaa's gonna Perforator anyway. Yeah, he agrees. Rajaa puts the Perforator, so yeah. Rajaa needs to throw out his next defensive item soon, but the damage output is just really low here. And we'll see. At least Rajaa's staying on top now. Puts the RD really late, so trying to make the most of his items, and Rebel deciding that he doesn't have what it takes to fight here, to stand and fight. And I'm inclined to agree. I think Rajaa is favored in this fight at the moment. Should be able to get his Protector back up pretty soon. Rebel gets out of range again though, and the cycle continues. So we'll see. I'll give a warning to the players when they have 3 minutes left. We're not quite at that point yet. We're over halfway though for our total time. Rebel with the Scrambler again. We'll see if Rajaa can get enough hits through the Scrambler to kill him here, but I think Rebel's gonna get his RD back up in time. Yeah, there it is. Rajaa stuns again. Throws out another bomb. It really does no damage. Rebel prots off the stun. Rajaa already has his defensive items back up as well, and yeah, we might be looking at an infinite PvP here. Rebel throws out a stun, Rajaa with an afterburner. Rebel afterburns after it actually. He might be baited in here, but I just don't know if Rajaa has the DPS to kill him. Like, I don't know if Rebel has the DPS either. Couldn't get close here. Rajaa needs to put an item. Rajaa! Doesn't put anything, and Rebel gets a victory. So Rebel gets on the board, 3-1. Not sure why he didn't put an item. I'm pretty sure that he had items available. He's saying RD 0.5 seconds, so... Slightly miscalculated. Rebel stuns apparently enough to mess up the item rotation on Rajaa's side, and Rebel gets on the board in my opinion, surprising fashion. I would consider the Locust to be a counter to the Punari, but yeah, in level 55 Soul, it's a bit weird. It's a weird system, weird tech, weird matches. Rajaa deciding on Draconis to try and seal the deal, and we'll see what ships these people bring out. So far we haven't really been surprised by the ship choices, but gonna have to find out. I'll do some background work here, and yeah, people in the clan chat analyzing some of the previous PvP rounds. Rajaa brings out a Chrome for Draconis. I think that Rebel is limited to hunters, but we're gonna find out. And let's see what he brings out. Yeah, Rebel again with the hunter. And yeah, analyzing some of the crits, it's, you know, mirror matchups are quite crit heavy, generally speaking. Crits matter a lot if you both have the exact same items. So do item orders though. And I don't necessarily think that those matches were decided on crits, but the better RNG definitely helps, of course. I'm not gonna defend the RNG in this game, but yeah. I don't think RNG is an excuse to lose a PvP, generally speaking. But we'll see. Hunter versus CC, quite interesting. We haven't seen this matchup too much. At least I haven't seen this matchup too much yet. I think it's quite interesting. I would personally favor the CC, but, you know, as long as the OS doesn't crit, as long as you don't get bursted on the Hunter, your DPS is enough to just seal the deal really quickly. So we're gonna find out. Rajaa immediately breaks the range exploit with an AB, puts his actuator right away. Rebel AB's out, and that's the trap out of the way. Puts his RD, wants to be safe, and now puts the buffs, gets out of the trap. Bit of a break in the fighting. I think Rebel, with his RD running, he should definitely be like going in, stuns into the RD, so Rajaa probably doesn't want to protect himself yet. He might be putting it soon. His HP is quite low already anyway. So the RD will still get its value. Yeah, there it is. Rebel doesn't have any defense left, so now it's a question of can he DPS Rajaa before he dies? I don't think so. I think Rajaa's gonna get this. Tries to AB out. His ship is faster here, and Rajaa actually playing careful, so Rajaa doesn't think he can get in range. Rebel turned though. I think he could have gotten in range if he decided to there. On Rajaa, but Rebel at only 5% HP, so gets out just in the nick of time. Now has his RD back up, and he's probably gonna stall out until He gets a second one. He wants to get back at least close enough to check what his opponent is doing, I think. Not sure if he's also gonna go for a fight right away. Yeah, he's gonna take care of the magnet to prevent any future shenanigans with that. Takes that out of the equation. And now struggling to find his opponent. Rajaa now renders in. Rajaa also used his RD, but used it just now. So Rebel almost has his RD back off cooldown. Rajaa doesn't have it. And recognizing that, AB's out. But Rajaa doesn't really have any tools to keep Rebel away at this point. Rajaa throws out the Protector. We'll see if Rebel wants to go in. He doesn't have the buffs quite back yet. Should have them pretty soon though. Actuator should be back up in a few seconds. Looks like he just wants to stay at a distance. Poke away. And yeah, this is perfectly fine, you know. Rajaa is getting his cooldowns back, but his actuator duration is being wasted. His Protector is being ran down. So yeah, we'll see. Ooh, Rajaa turns back into range actually, so... Ooh, so that was barely on the edge of range there, and Rebel with a division drone, Rajaa has the cooldown drone, so Rajaa was actually being range exploited there, and Rebel now just stuns into Rajaa. He knows he doesn't have Protector, and Rebel should have overwhelming damage here. I don't think the OS is good enough to turn this around for Rajaa, but we'll see if it's a really good hit, maybe. We're gonna find out. Is Rebel gonna chase it? Yeah, Rebel chases into it. Ooh, Magnet comes back up for Rajaa actually. So, yeah, that balanced cooldown definitely just barely low enough, and Rebel might be in a bit of trouble now. Also doesn't quite finish the Magnet, quite interesting, leaves it at 2%. He can just one blaster it in the future if he needs to. And yeah, Rajaa gets the Protector back up, Rebel stays out of range though, so Rajaa can't really enforce it here. He does have his Ifrit running now, so if he can get an OS done with the Ifrit, then that can easily one-shot a Hunter. Hunter doesn't have the most armor, so Rajaa might be trying for that. Rebel staying at a distance, and he really needs to be careful at this point. But while he's range exploiting, you know, that's just free damage. Rebel AB's out, so makes the OS impossible, and just wants to stay at range. Yeah, looks like he's successful in that. Rajaa puts these actuator back up, tries to get his cooldowns back. And we're gonna see how this goes now. Looks like we are quite... Just get the time there, 36. Looks like we are quite evenly matched so far. I feel like Rajaa's been on the back foot a bit. He's been running away, Rebel just controlling the match with the stuns and the range exploit. But, you know, all Rajaa needs is one OS. And getting one OS in can happen at any time. And now Rebel goes for a full reset, doesn't want to mess with Rajaa at this point. Both use their RDs pretty much the same time. And I think we're not gonna re-engage, at least not fully get in range until pretty much all the items are back up. And we'll see when that happens, might be here for a while. We are actually quite close on the timer. That will start becoming a factor at some point. About halfway through our duration for now. So players will be warned in a little bit when they have 3 minutes left to play. But yeah, both just playing really careful. And yeah, we'll see. Out of range of each other, there Rebel is. Okay, so Rebel's gonna go try to range exploit a bit again, force some defense. Rajaa, really early actuator. He has the trap back, so we'll see if... Okay, just throws an OS. Rebel tanks it, not managing a dodge or anything, but we'll see. Throws out the stun first. He's gonna kill the Protector in only a few seconds, because he has his buffs running, and then Rajaa will still be stunned. So Rajaa preemptively puts the RD, so he doesn't get bursted before he can put it. And yeah, Rebel just decides to get out here. Doesn't want to mess with it. So AB's out of the Magnet. Now he's gonna try to re-engage, I think, because with the buffs running, there's no way that Rajaa can 1v1 him. if neither of them have defensive items. And Rebel also gets the RD more quickly. So Rajaa's first defensive item now should be the Protector, which he should get pretty soon. Ooh, he gets the OS in though, and I'm not sure if Rebel has anything. He might get the RD in time? Yeah, okay. So Rebel gets the RD just in time. Rajaa, Protector, is it up, is it up, is it up? Not gonna get it. So Rebel with a 3-2. And Rajaa only now noticing that he was missing a drone, so yeah. Bit unfortunate there, but that is, you know, that is his own responsibility. And 3-2, so we're gonna see what the ranking decides on. So yeah, Rajaa saying he only has 25 minutes. Well, we have at most 2 more rounds with the current score. So as long as they don't take too long with their ship picks, we should by rule be finishing before Rajaa has to leave. I shall now give you some drinking ASMR because I've been talking for way too long. So yeah, sorry about that. I need to take care of my voice in some capacity because my work is far from done for today. But yeah, I heard Sol being picked. Yeah, Rajaa picks Sol, and we'll see what sort of ship choices we're gonna see for the Sol system. I think Rebel once again gonna have to go Hunter. I don't think he has anything else, and Rajaa picks a Hunter into it as well. So another Hunter v Hunter. We'll see if Rajaa maintains his Hunter dominance. So far Rajaa has won 3 times in the Hunter v Hunter, and Rebel has won everything that wasn't a Hunter v Hunter. So, you know, Rajaa definitely showing his expertise at the Hunter. I would definitely say that this is the ship that Rajaa is known for. So yeah, let's see how this goes. If Rebel can win in the Hunter v Hunter as well, or if it's gonna be the game that wins the series for Rajaa. Sol Tech. Rebel didn't change his tech here, so still with the long stun. And we're gonna see what works better. Rajaa saying he forgot to take what he wanted. Rebel with Spaceball division, so that's the 2K20 Spaceball, I believe gives cooldown and speed. Not 100% sure. So yeah, we'll see what Rajaa means with forgetting to take what he wanted. Do hope he's not gonna make drastic changes to his ship layout. That would be against the rules. But we'll see. Rajaa generally, what we've seen from him so far, definitely a fair player. He has demonstrated a lot of sportsmanship in some of his previous matches, so I'm not expecting anything dirty here, but, you know, as the referee, do have to keep an eye on everything. Let's see if we can spot the change. Yeah, it looks like it was a drone change, so... yeah, so he just wanted to switch out his speed drone for a 2020 drone. That's not a big difference. I think that's definitely fair. Unless if Rebel wants to protest against it, I think that's okay. So both players ready. This could be the final round, or we could have one more after this. We are on our way with another Hunter v Hunter. First SBs, 82%, 84%. Rebel gets the slightly better hit, but no major difference. What's the second hit gonna be like? Rajaa puts the buff up before, still doesn't get a particularly good hit. Stuns at the same time, buffs at the same time, and we're just gonna get into our slugfest. That is Hunter v Hunter. Rebel needs to put the RD. Ooh, doesn't get it in time, and Rajaa with a really nice crit there. That was a really high hit that he got, but yeah. Rajaa takes it, 4-2, Rajaa wins. So Rajaa successfully defending his position. And yeah, nothing will change in the ranking since Rebel was the challenger there, but Rebel underestimating the strong stun a bit there and just not getting the RD up in time. And then Rajaa with some nice blaster crits. It's enough, you know? Sometimes it's enough, sometimes it's not. So yeah, well played to both of these. I think we saw some very nice matches, and Rajaa just showing, flexing his dominance on the Hunter. All 4 of his rounds victories in Hunter v Hunter, not dropping a single one of those, despite being equal on tech. So some very impressive plays, but no discredit to Rebel. A lot of matches were quite close on the Hunter v Hunters, and Rebel of course taking both of the rounds that weren't Hunter v Hunter as well. Beating a Chrome with a Hunter, definitely no easy feat. But not quite enough to win the challenge, so Rebel remains at rank 21 and Rajaa remains at rank 18. That's all for this match, and I will see you on the next one.